Character designing sucks, at least for me. I find it to be one of, if not the hardest part of art, since you need each element to portray the personality of the character so well in order to get, that really perfect outcome. Especially in the Vtuber or PNGtuber scene, it's really difficult to make a unique character that'll stand out from the crowd with how saturated the community has become. And that's not a bad thing, but it's just something that poses great challenge. I'm Mimzy, otherwise SleepyMimzy, and in this video I'm going to be going over all of the challenges that I faced creating my PNGtuber and her design, which I do end up loving. Like, I do love her, but she was totally a pain to create, and I could totally understand if that's why you're here, because maybe you're struggling with your design. So hopefully, this video really helps. And if that's not the case and you're just here for fun, then I hope that it's an interesting video at the very least. And maybe you're just here for the speed paint, so feel free to mute me and play your own music in the background. That's something that I do as well, so I really don't mind. But yeah, thank you for being here, and let's move on. So when I first started designing Mimzy, I only had a vague sense of direction as to where I wanted to go with her. I knew I wanted something purple and gothic with some kind of cute animalistic choice all crumpled together, but I wasn't really sure how to make them cohesive or if they even could be. So I ended up, of course, going to YouTube and watching a bunch of how to design your VTuber or how to make interesting characters, all those kinds of videos. And I stressed myself thinking I had to take all of their advice in order to actually make a good character. But when I started designing, like, all that information kind of went out the window, and I just kind of went with the flow of whatever I liked. So the best sense of direction I can give you is go to Pinterest or just anywhere with photos, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Look at images or outfits, just anything that you like, and find what exactly in that image speaks to you, what exactly pulls you to it, and pick those out, make a little board of it, and you will get a sense, like, you'll see things connect, similar items, and you could totally put those into your character, and it'll help you shape a design that you really like. So even with those items from your board and having all that inspiration, it doesn't mean you're gonna get a one-hit wonder with your designs. You're definitely gonna have to go through, at least a few. I went through 6 designs. I'll show you right now. I really liked my second design specifically, and at one point I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is gonna be the design. But thinking about it, stepping back, it's like, it's never that easy. Like, you definitely want to try a lot of different avenues before you decide something as big as, like, what your final design is going to be. Especially if it's for such a project like VTubing or PNGtubing, the design is so crucial to showing who you are as a person, or, drawing people in to be your audience. So I ended up trying the 6 different designs, and after 5, I looked at all of the designs. And just like the Pinterest board, I took different parts of each, or if it applied, of whatever designs that I liked. I'd take bits and pieces until I created this final design of Mimzy, which you can see obviously is heavily inspired by the vampiric and the second design that I liked so much. So by taking the bits and pieces from those 2 designs that I really enjoyed, I was able to make a third design, which again is Mimzy's final design, that I absolutely love. Of course, you also have to remember there's more to character design than just the appearances. You have to create a character background to explain, maybe some scarring, or some, maybe why they wear what they wear, why their hair color, which you don't have to do, but it's certainly my favorite part of character design. I love lore, I love creating backstories. I think it really helps build the character, because if you have a personality, if you know what your character is going to sound like, the things that they do, maybe their favorite food, the genre of books they like, little things like that, you would see how it would influence their outfit. and that can really create depth for a character. But most importantly, I think, is the name. So I came up with SleepyMimzy because I really wanted a character that matched my voice. There's been so many times I've been, scrolling through Twitch, YouTube Shorts, and I'll see the most gorgeous, like a really outstanding model. And let's say, for example, it's a gothic model, like they're really sleepy, they're really tired, and then you tune in and they're this really bubbly, energetic creator. Like, it kind of ruins the immersion. And for those outside of the community, immersion is not so much a big part of it, but it really helps create an atmosphere that you'd want. It takes away the awkwardness of, having an anime model talking to you, and it helps it feel more real and more comfortable. So that's a really important aspect to really keep in mind as well. So I'd really recommend asking a friend what kind of personality your voice gives off to ensure you can capture an accurate portrayal of yourself in your design, just so that, you get that correct immersion. Now let's go into why I chose the elements I did. So the meaning behind your elements, which you don't have to share, but I believe it's important because this character is going to be your face. It's going to portray who you are. It's going to need to portray certain parts of your personality. Like, it's really important that you love who you're being portrayed as. So starting with my bunny ears, since it's the most lengthy, I am a gerbil owner, so I do own a guinea pig, and soon, hopefully, he will have 2 new friends. I'm planning to get 2 new bunnies. I've already bought so much stuff for them and spent like 12 hours on the floor making them a little snuffle mat, like just cutting up reused shirts and tying them around some wire. And I even sewed their cage mat myself. I've always wanted bunnies, and when in high school my farming class got 3 class rabbits, I knew I needed them. It was time. Once I get my bunnies, I'll definitely introduce them to y'all. But as to why I even like bunnies so much to begin with, I had this huge brown rabbit stuffed animal throughout my whole childhood, so maybe that's where the obsession came from. But also, I just love bunnies. They're so stinking cute, and I wanted to be cute, so of course, the dots connected. And moving on to why vampiric, why not? Who wouldn't want to be a sexy vampire girl? Seriously though, it was just because I actually dressed gothic IRL, so I wanted to portray myself in the character so that I could just be myself and it'd fit my character, again with the immersion. But, both of those things are something that sticks with me really closely, so it really helped me grow closer to the design of Mimzy, and that helps me want to be her, want to have this social media presence as Mimzy, want to stream as her, want to make these videos, because I think that's cool, I think she's cool, and I think, in a way, I'm cool. Now let's talk about an inspiration that a lot of people have for their models. Other models. Sometimes people will pick a bunch of popular VTubers or maybe indie VTubers whose designs they really like, and they'll cherry pick a few pieces out of them. I think this can be a little dangerous, especially because with the bigger VTubers, if you have anything remotely similar, at times their fans can turn around and be like, oh, you're just a copy of so-and-so. A little bit ago, we saw a bit of that with, I believe, Shy Lily, and I forget the other content creator's name. But it's also something that just happens a lot in the space where anyone remotely see animal related as a Gargura or a Shy Lily copy. Anyone who's popular, if you have anything similar, you're just basing it off of them. And I chose not to do that because I was worried about those kinds of accusations. But even without doing that, I have seen similarities within my model and other people's model. Like specifically the hair colors. Recently I saw an older clip of Iron Mouse's, and from the small clip that I saw, I believe her older model had very similar hair colors to me. And then there was another creator who, I forget her name, but she also has really similar hair to me. But it's only the hair, so I didn't think it would be too big of an issue. It's gonna pop up, like ideas are gonna overlap. If you do decide to use another VTuber as inspiration, just be really careful and mindful about the types of things that you're picking out of it and make sure that you really make it your own. And now that the speed paint has come to an end, obviously you've already been seeing the model all throughout the YouTube video. Thank you for staying this long, and I really hope that everything that I've said so far has made sense and is at least a little bit useful. But in order to wrap everything up, I just want to reiterate the importance of immersion, the importance of the meaning behind your elements, and the importance of loving your design. Those three things are what I believe is the biggest factor of your design to create a perfect character, and most importantly, a VTuber or PNGtuber you feel is worthy enough to represent you and be your face on the internet. Thank you for being here, and hopefully you'll come for my lore video that'll come out maybe next week. I do want to try and get a schedule out for this type of thing, but at first it's definitely going to be a little bit rocky, so stay with me through it. I promise I'll get it all figured out. Thank you, and see you next time. Mimzy.